There are many different asset protection promoters who pull real estate investors in a bunch of different directions. Many of them encourage investors to form an LLC. But there are also other real estate investors, and maybe this includes you, who think they've checked all the boxes by setting up a Series LLC. They figure their properties are safe and their personal assets are shielded. But they're often missing the bigger picture. And when they do, it could cost them just about everything. Today, we're going to look at the differences between regular LLCs and Series LLCs and determine which one is best for real estate investors. So let's dig in. You hear it all the time. Protect your assets, get an LLC. So you diligently place your properties into a standard LLC, thinking you built an impenetrable wall around your investments. But here's the trap. Imagine that LLC is like putting all your precious eggs into one single basket. If one property faces a lawsuit, say one egg cracks, it can contaminate and endanger all the other assets nestled together in that single LLC. Suddenly, your supposed shield becomes one giant exposed target, a potentially devastating oversight. But what if you could shield each property individually, even if they're all under one main company umbrella? Picture this, a ship with multiple watertight compartments within it. That's the essence of a Series LLC. It's like a parent LLC that has distinct child cells or compartments for each individual property within that parent LLC. Each cell possesses its own liability shield. So if a lawsuit hits one property or one compartment springs a leak, the damage is generally contained within that specific cell, preventing the whole ship from sinking. This incredible feature sounds like a game changer, but there are a few things that you'll need to be aware of. Now let's put these two structures side by side. With a regular LLC, think of it as that single basket we talked about, or one large treasure chest. All your assets are pooled together, and if a lawsuit strikes, it's like a crack spreading across the entire chest, putting everything inside at risk. Want to isolate properties? You need to set up multiple separate LLCs, which means more setup fees, more recurring state fees, and extra paperwork. Now let's go to the Series LLC. Let's picture our compartmentalized ship containing many individual smaller compartments within it. You have one parent LLC, but each property gets its own series or compartment within it. A lawsuit targeting one series typically stays confined into that one compartment. And if you're adding new properties, you'd simply add a new series, often a much simpler and more cost-effective process. However, you must be warned because there are tons of disadvantages when using a Series LLC. But before we discuss these disadvantages, let's get to our Q&A. In last week's video, the question I asked is what percentage of LLCs generate less than $50,000 in annual revenue? The answer is 40%, which is pretty surprising. And for this week's question, the question I have is how many states recognize Series LLCs? Now go ahead and leave a comment letting me know what you think the answer is, and I'll give you the answer in next week's video. Now, let's get back to Series LLCs. Now, for the shocking truth, the critical details many so-called gurus conveniently gloss over when promoting Series LLCs. They might sound nice on paper, but they come with significant catches. The first is state recognition, and this is a big one. This is because not all states recognize Series LLCs. Imagine having a special key that only opens certain doors. Your Series LLC's protection might literally vanish if you operate in a state that doesn't acknowledge this structure. The second downside is the strict administration. This is non-negotiable. Each series or property cell must have its own separate bank account, and maintain its own distinct financial records. Think of it like running multiple businesses under one roof. Each needs to have its own cash register and its own ledger. No shortcuts, no commingling funds, and if there are, the liability shield protecting each series can crumble like a poorly built wall. The third relates to banking and legal hurdles. Some banks might give you the side eye, being unfamiliar or wary of Series LLCs. Plus, the laws around them are still evolving in some areas, especially when it comes to taxes and bankruptcy. And this is why many experts, including myself, do not recommend forming Series LLCs. So after all that, which structure is truly better for you? A Series LLC might be your champion if you own multiple properties. Those properties are in states that recognize Series LLCs, and you are absolutely committed to the meticulous, separate bookkeeping each series demands, like managing those individual safes perfectly. However, they also come with too many unknowns. A regular LLC is our single treasure chest. It is often the better, simpler path if you have only a few properties, your investments are in states that don't recognize Series LLCs, or if you value straightforward simplicity above all else. And because of this, and because there's more consistency around them, the best choice right now is to go with a regular LLC. Choosing the right LLC structure is a cornerstone of savvy real estate investing. The Series LLC, our compartmentalized ship, might sound like it offers unique and robust protection, but it demands real commitment and due diligence. However, the regular LLC, the single basket, is simpler to manage and has more legal consistency. And with legal consistency comes much better asset protection. This is why I recommend forming a regular LLC over a Series LLC. Now, generic advice you might find online can be incredibly risky. Laws change, they vary by state, and mistakes in your entity structuring can be painfully expensive. Are you unsure if your current setup is a fortress or a house of cards? Don't leave it to chance. Click the link in the description below to consult with one of our team members who specializes in protecting real estate investments. What structure are you currently using for your properties? Go ahead and share your experience in the comments below. And hey, if this sheds some light, please make sure to like, subscribe, and also share this video. It could genuinely save a fellow investor's future.